name's Michelle and I'm 33. I came into Magnolia because I was having a hard time getting or functioning on a day-to-day basis. I was having a hard time getting out of bed. I was having a hard time getting just simple chores done and tasks done without feeling the body aches and the pains and the fatigue. I had brain fog and I didn't feel like I was 33 anymore. I felt much older and it progressively got worse, and so I knew I had to do something about it. So I noticed, and I guess a lot of people noticed this first, the weight gain was something I noticed first before the fatigue and the days being flip-flopped, which is kind of crazy, but that's what bothered me the most, so I noticed that first. So I went to a diet doctor and they gave me like these diet pills and I slept even less and I lost weight, but the second I stopped taking the diet pills, all the weight came back. It faster than I had gained it. The first time I gained it back even faster and then some the following time. So I knew that wasn't gonna work, and I went to my general physician and the only advice was quit eating bread. And I was like, okay, need a little bit more guidance than that. I mean, great, that sounds like a good start, but I need more than just to quit eating bread. I need to know why I'm hurting and why I'm depressed and why my heart is beating so rapidly. I didn't feel like just quitting bread was an empathetic answer, and maybe I needed a little bit more empathy with the delivery of how I need to make these changes and a little bit more guidance. And so that wasn't right for me. So then I also, throughout this time, dually dealt with the psychological end of things, which was separate from going to like my physical or general physician. And I didn't realize at the time that these two things could be linked. And so I was, during that time of struggling with my weight gain and my days being flip-flopped, I was also diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and insomnia. And I was on 4 different medications for that as well. And so without ever knowing that all of this could be brewing inside of my gut, I was dumping psychiatric medication after psychiatric medication on top of everything else going on, and not understanding why I was even more depressed after that. Or sometimes I would have manic phases or complete psychosis, which is very frightening, because before all this started, I was a very bubbly person. And so I didn't understand why everything was falling apart so much. And so I just continued for about 3.5 years to take a lot of psychiatric medication. And then for sleep, I read the safest thing for my liver was to take Benadryl, so I was just taking a lot of Benadryl, allergy medicine. I was taking a lot of allergy medicine. And that helped a little bit, but if I ever ran out or went somewhere and I didn't have it with me, I was up the whole night. So that was, again, a Band-Aid on an open wound instead of healing the wound. It was just lots of Band-Aids, one after another, never solving the root of the problem. Well, when I first received the information from Magnolia with the game plan, there was a moment of shock and disbelief, because I knew something bigger was going on, and that all these small problems I was trying to resolve. I knew that it just was very satisfying to finally know that I wasn't crazy. And when I brought these two things together that were always held separate, you had the psychological on one end and you had the physiological stuff on the other end, and everything was always treated separate. So Magnolia was the first place to bring it together for me. And that was super important because it's something I always had a feeling of and I did some research on, but I had to hear it. So once I got the game plan and everything, I was really excited to get started with it. sometimes you just, when everything makes sense, you just know and you're ready and you're finally ready to do this. It's not as hard because it's the first time something's making complete sense.
Okay.
So I'm about 4.5 weeks in. About 5 days into the program, I started sleeping through the night, which was incredible. I couldn't believe how fast those results happened for me. It was extremely exciting to sleep through the night. And then bit by bit, I started to feel more energy throughout the day, last for longer periods of time. So maybe, in the beginning, oh yay, I slept through the night. And then maybe I made it to lunch without feeling fatigued. And then about 1.5 to 2 weeks in, I started noticing the fatigue and the brain fog washing away. Now, I had to do my part to get results that quickly. I stuck to the diet as closely as possible in the beginning, and then as I got even better at it, I was able to successfully completely stick to the diet without any mess ups along the way, when at first, I was still learning. And the progression of how I felt ran parallel to how well I did on the diet. They went together. And so yes, it's tough, but if you're like me and you couldn't sleep and your heart was pounding and your arm is tingling and you think, am I having a stroke? And then all of a sudden it comes together for you, then it's worth it to hang in there for the diet. So like I said, I've been involved for about a little bit over a month. I've lost 8 pounds, which is a great start for me. In the beginning, I was really hanging on to that weight, but like I said, it's not gonna all happen overnight. But I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I feel like I felt like when I was in my 20s again, and that is priceless. You can't really put a price tag on that at all, because I thought I thought I was like dying or something. I didn't know, and it wasn't until I felt amazing again that I knew that this was the perfect program. And like I said, the diet's hard, but it's totally worth it in the end.